Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome. How are you? Good to see you. Thanks for joining us here on Crafters TV. My name's Ben Moseby. Thanks for being here. I hope your weekend is going well, whatever you've been doing this Saturday. I hope you've had fun, and I hope you're ready for a craft along, one of our award-winning shows, no less. Yes, back along these shows did win awards. I think kind of like the first of their kind, really, weren't they? You know, when we gave you the opportunity to join us on the shows, take part and join us in a project that we do in real time, and that is what we are going to be doing again over the course of this hour. We're talking all about the liquid watercolors in this show, so if you've already picked these up and maybe already received them, an opportunity for you to craft along with us live. If you have already got them but you haven't got time, don't forget, you can come back to this show whenever you like. Facebook, YouTube. If you're on YouTube, you can add it into a playlist, bookmark it, and come back to it and take part in this project at a time to suit. Or indeed, if you see this particular project and you think, oh, I'd like to have a go at that, but I haven't got the liquid watercolors, then you can pick them up on this show. Got a brilliant deal on those for you. All of the individual options for you available as well, and lots of other goodies. Best thing to do if you want to see the full list of what is available, just head to the website and click on the shop the show. Also, just to say, before we introduce you to the lady who is leading the craft along, we have another treat as far as our 12 days of Craftmas is concerned. It's the last day today. I mean, don't be sad. Don't be sad. We've had a good 12 days, haven't we? We've had a good run, and we're going to finish off on a high. In case you didn't know, what we're doing today is we're giving you the opportunity to get some money off. So if you spend £30, dollars, then you use a code to get 5 off. Guess what the code is? 5 off. Yep. F-I-V-E. Sorry. I was spelling it in my ear there. I know how to spell 5 off. F-I-V-E-O-F-F. 5 off. All one word, no spaces, and that will get you 5 off a 30 spend. You're welcome. Before I show you the deals and do all the maths and whatnot, let's say hello to the lovely lady who is going to be taking you through this amazing craft along, looking as festive as ever with her beautiful, cozy, chunky knit cardigan on and a beautiful reindeer antlers. It's Barnsley's version of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. It's Debbie, the Barnsley bombshell.
Thank you very much. Thank you. With me still with wonky. What's going off with these
Needs
antlers?
to go the other way.
I keep putting them on the wrong way. Is that better? Is that
perfect?
Okay? We're there. We've got there. Are you ready for a great craft along with gorgeous watercolour, liquid watercolour inks? I just absolutely love these, and I know you're going to as well. And this is our projects that we're going to use. Now, I am using some stamps from our Sheena to create this. You call it a Van Halen card?
Yeah, it reminds me of the Van Halen logo.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. whatever you like.
What is the actual name of it?
I actually just think it's a diamond point card.
Oh,
but
go with that.
I know that there's lots of different names for it out there. I'll be totally honest, it's just a great style.
Yeah.
Very easy to do as well. So this is going to be a craft along, real-time crafting from the start to the finish. I've managed to manage every craft along I've done and just got it in the nick of time. So I'm hoping that we get this one done the same way. But I hear you ask, as always,
what do we need?
That I need. And hey presto, here you go. This is the list of products, or my menu, as I like to call it, of the ingredients that you need to make this craft along. So we'll start with the liquid watercolours. I have used the colour essentials and colour inspirations, but I've only taken certain colours out of there, and I'll talk you through that as we go along. But this is your craft along. You can choose whatever colours you like out of those watercolours. We've got Watercolor Fusion Radiant Rose stamp set. There is also our Watercolor Fusion Blooming Beautiful Sentiments. There is the Flagstone Waterproof Ink Pad. Really important for this one, guys. It needs to be a waterproof ink pad. I've just chosen Flagstone for a change, just to change it up a little bit. If you've got black or the brown, you can use it as long as it's waterproof. A heat tool, some paint brushes, and then additional items that you're going to need are white cardstock, black cardstock, watercolour cardstock, a guillotine, a stamping platform, a score master, and our all-purpose glue, or any glue of your choice. Because this is what we're going to do. I'm going to get ready to get out what you need. We're going to make the card blank first and some of the panels, and then we'll get on with the main part of this. So I want you to go and get all your ingredients together so that you can come along and craft with me. And don't forget, tag me in, because this is a pre-record, so just tag me in any of your makes that you do with these gorgeous watercolour, liquid watercolours, and make sure you tag Ben as well, because he's nosy, he likes to have a nose as well. But I'm going to get ready to get this started, Ben, if that's okay with you. I just need a couple of minutes.
Absolutely, blooming marvellous. Yeah, always tag us, and always feel free to send in your pictures as well. studio@crafterscompanion.co.uk, because we're always looking for pictures for Friday Night Lives, you know, our Friday Night faves that we do. So please do send those in. I mean, my goodness me, just before I show you what you're going to get, take a look at some of the cards that we've got here. This is absolutely incredible. That beautiful background there, just like blending and mixing all of the wonderful colours that you're going to get in this set. Using, that was the Bold Lino selection, I think, there, with the luscious lupins. Yeah. You know, some beautiful stamps that you can use when you're creating backgrounds just like that. Sadly, these haven't got names on, but Debbie and I were both looking at that card before the show.
Stunning.
That, for me, almost is too good for the front of a card. You almost want to get a frame of that and stick it on the wall. But this is the kind of thing that you are able to achieve with these absolutely beautiful liquid watercolours. Now, if you go for the Showstopper, you get everything as far as the goodies are concerned, and you're basically getting it for the best price. So you're going to get 2 boxes full of your liquid watercolours. Each of these comes in a little bottle which has a pipette, so if you decide that you want to wet your cardstock and then just drop that water, drop that liquid watercolour onto your cardstock, you can. You know, if you want to pop this down and paint with it, you know, add your water, dilute it even further, it's up to you. There's so many different things that you can do, and of course all the colours that you've got here you can then mix and create different colours with as well. So there's plenty of opportunities and plenty of different techniques that you can try out with these. So as far as the colours that you're going to get the catkin green. It's a lovely word, that, isn't it? Catkin. I really enjoy saying that. Catkin. You're going to get your seaweed aqua, your night blue, then you're going to get your clematis violet, poppy red, and then the persimmon orange. So those all come in your colour inspirations bundle. And then this one here is your colour essentials, so all your essential colours, like the lightning blue. You've got that darker storm blue, and of course your licorice black. And then you've got elderberry purple, magenta rose, and then your sunflower yellow. Also with the Showstopper, you then get the tools as well. In this box, you're going to get 2 pipettes. You've got your water spritzer in there, and also 2 empty pots with lids as well. So perfect for the liquid watercolours. Also, you can use this alongside things like your shimmer sprays, for example. 2 little pots in there as well for kind of mixing and storing. If you create like your own custom colours, so you've got extra pots in there to be able to do that, and that's the kind of thing you're afforded the ability to be able to do with this set. But have fun with it. It's £33.60 or $44 for the Showstopper. If you decide that you just want to jump in and grab individual bits and pieces, of course you can do that as well. And if you like the stamps that Debbie's going to be using over the course of this show, the Watercolor Fusion stamps, they are also available for you on the shop. The show. I will stop chatting now, and I will hand over to the lovely Debbie, who's going to take you through. So construction first, yeah? Construction first, and then we'll get on to the main part of it. And I like to get that card blank out of the way. Very simple to do as well. So you're going to take your white cardstock, grab your large guillotine and extend your leg or your arm, however you call it. And then we're going to come in. Now, I've gone big again with this one. So I've gone with another 8 by 8. So first things first, we will cut down to 8 by 8. If you have an 8 by 8 card blank, which we do sell, we sell lots of different ready-made cards all ready for you. You can check that website out. They're in various different sizes, various different colours. You could cheat and have your 8 by 8 to start with, but I like to make my own. So as always, when I'm making my own, I go to 8 3/4 by 8 inches. Okay. So that's the first thing that we're going to do. Now we are going to put a score line in first. So we're going to, and as you'll see, you've got your 8 by 8, but then you've got your 8 3/4 by 8. But we need to put a score line in, because that's going to be the bit that tucks over, attaches itself to this base part. But this is the bit we're going to do some cutting into to create that crisscross design, that arrow design. So first of all, get your scoreboard,
bring in the largest piece, and you want to score this in at, let me get this right, Debbie, there you go. Score this at 3/4 of an inch. Now, I've said this before and I'll say it again. On your board, if you've got a score master, it's 8 1/4. It's a bit tight to get in at the 8. You can sometimes drop out of that track. So I always do it from this end. If you've got the big score, it's absolutely fine because you've got it up
more
to
space.
more space, up to 12 inches. So I'm just going to come in at 3/4 of an inch to pop that on and fold that over. Now this is the bit that we're going to get cut straight away. So what we need to do, now you'll see that attaches perfectly over the top, but we're not going to stick that down and cut it, we'll do it while it's separate. But what we need to do, and this is why I chose 8x8, make life easy for yourself. I swear, honestly, when we've only got an hour craft along, I like to try and keep it simple without getting too complicated. Well, it'll be coming to that in a bit when we do the mats and layers.
Okay.
But for now, I want to keep that main card blank absolutely, perfectly simple to do. Now, my pencil has gone walkabouts.
Oh, man.
I said this, I had it yesterday, we did a pre-record, pencil disappeared.
Craig.
So I'm going to do it using my scoring tool, and normally I'd just tell you to use your glass mat, push it down to the bottom corner, find your 4-inch mark and give a little mark. Bit difficult when you can't see it on the screen. So I'm going to bring in my scoreboard, and all I'm going to do is place that on. And I'm going to do it from the bottom, and this is where it always comes in handy when you've got a black line on one of your main things. I'm just going to put myself a little notch, just a tiny notch. If you've got a pencil will be better, but I just need to physically see the halfway mark, because what we're going to do is we're going to cut away from this corner, down to the centre, this corner, down to the centre. And I do like a pencil mark, I'm not going to lie, Ben, because I can see it better. The old eyes don't work the same way that they used to.
Oh, no, how you feel with that?
I know. But what we need to remember is, and if you think about this, where the edge of the blade is, that's where you need to line your cardstock. It needs to be sat right on that edge to get the precision cut. If you miss it by 1 millimetre, it'll be a little bit out. So just make sure it's lined up where the notch is and at the very top corner, and then just snip down.
Yeah.
And you've got your first crisscross. We're going to repeat that, but this time we're just going to do the opposite end, again, right to the very edge of the blade on both sides, and make sure you've got the top and the bottom. Once you're happy with where it is, secure it with your hand grip, or what do we call this?
Finger grip.
Finger grip, and just snip down. And there you've got the first formation of your card.
Van Halen.
That up. What?
Van Halen.
Is it Van Halen, really? Is it really Van Halen?
Yeah.
Yeah, you tell me that, but I don't trust you.
I'm sure it is.
I'm not for sure. I'm
look
not
it
for
up
sure.
now.
But I think, well, we'll let you have that one. Now,
Okay.
what we're going to do is, quite simply, we're just going to attach this part, because I know what I'm like. I'll end up losing it. So I'm going to attach it. Now, I'll use our tape pen for this. Any chosen glue. It could be a, now then, red liner tape. A wet glue. You just need to make sure your wet glue's dry. Finger lift tape, or as Craigie calls it, tissue tape. Stella, I need to ask him that question.
Yeah.
Why does he call it tissue tape?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, I've never heard it being described as tissue. It's always been finger lift tape to me.
Is that another brand or something? I don't know. Maybe it's like a brand of.
Because I think he uses it from, not only just us, but I think he does from Sticks too as well.
Yeah, Sticks too.
Yeah. Right, so we're just going to connect that part. We're not, I repeat, not going to connect these two parts at the time being, because if we do, everything is going to fall to bits.
Yes.
So we'll just leave it there as a visual. I want you to do now, and this is where you're going to take your black cardstock, and we're going to have two of this because we're going to have an inside part as well. So for this, I always come down 1/4 of an inch, so we know our card base is 8 by 8. So I'm coming in at 7 3/4 inch square. And we're going to have two of these. So let me just make sure I've got the first one. And then the second one. Keep this bit because we'll be using that extra little bit later on. We're going to come in and we are going to do exactly the same again at 7 3/4 inch by 7 3/4 inch. And then all we're going to do now is, again, we need to get the halfway mark because we need that for our mats and layers for this part of the card. We're going to keep that one solid because that is going to sit, let me just bring my card base back in, that is going to sit inside. Okay, so that one can just be put to one side for now. We'll do all the sticking down in a bit, but what we need to find is the middle part of the 7 3/4 inch. Now, I always have to look at this because when I'm doing this, I'm rubbish at maths.
Oh.
But do you know the easiest way I just do this is I put it back onto my scoreboard and I
Yeah.
know it's the 1 notch before the 4.
Ah.
I can't tell you, I mean, it's just the way I am with maths. I'm rubbish, I always have been. But again, I just want that little bit of a notch just to give me that little indication of where I need to go. So it doesn't need, if you're doing a pencil mark, again, do it with your pencil.
Yeah.
But I just need that visual to see where I'm cutting to. But it's exactly the same. We're going to go from top corner to the middle, top corner to the middle. So exactly the same process, line it up onto the edge of the silver cutting blade, hold it down, secure it, snip. First part, exactly the same, but just repeating it on the other side, onto that very edge of there, snip. And that will be, if my mathematics has worked, the perfect mat and layer for your
Smashed
centre,
it.
and the perfect mat and layer for your your little crisscross panels as
Boom.
well. Okay, so it gives you them perfect measurements. If you wanted a little bit more of a deeper one, all I would say is come down an extra quarter of an inch, half an inch. Probably go to half an inch. You could do that at 7.5 by 7.5. You get a bigger white border. That's the only difference. So you can. I just prefer to do a quarter of an inch off mine. That's the mat and layers that I prefer. But if you want to do it, take half an inch off. You'll just get a bigger, whiter border. I suppose it depends on the look that you're going for.
Yeah.
So that's the first 2 bits. But then we're going to come into the watercolour card. So the watercolour card, we take another quarter of an inch off. If you're going by my quarter of an inch rule. So we've done a 8. We've done a 7 3/4.
7.5.
7.5. So we're going to do, and we're going to cut 2 pieces of this because we're going to get, don't forget, we've got an inside part because visibly on the card, you can see the inside of the card. So we're going to come in at 7.5 inches for both pieces of your watercolour cardstock. However, we are not, I repeat not, going to do any cutting, crisscross cutting at this stage.
Right.
Because what we need to do
Is
is we need to get the stamps.
stamps.
Yeah.
I was just about to ask about that because that would prove very difficult if you did the crisscross and then tried to stamp it.
It'd be a nightmare,
Yeah.
and I mean, I just prefer to keep, like I said, things nice and easy, nice and still. We'll come back to that guillotine part in a moment when we've done this bit. Put this one to one side because we're going to be doing and creating our little insert background. But this is the one we're going to work from, and this is when you need to bring in your stamping platform. Now I've chosen the one that we've got in the studio, which is our the new one.
It is a new one.
It is. It's the new one. So
The
I'm
one
just
we
gonna-
all love.
Well, exactly. So we're going to pop that down, and we're going to bring in our stamps. So I've chosen the Watercolor Fusion Radiant Rose stamp set. And I just did this because I wanted something to be able to paint
Yeah.
the lovely watercolour.
You're not the one, by the way, that keeps stealing Craig's acetate covering he puts on there, are you?
Does he keep losing it?
So he says
Nothing to do with
Oh,
me.
right, because he was having a right
Was he having a paddy?
chunter the other day. 'Cause
Nothing to do
he
with
keeps
me.
cutting a new acetate covering for it because it keeps going missing. And he has to
Nothing
keep,
to do with me.
All right, well, I shall tick you off my list of inquiries
Yeah,
then.
tick me off that list. It's got
Yeah.
naught to do with me.
I knew it wouldn't be you, TV wifey. I don't even know why I asked.
Now we've got and I said this is really important. These are water-based mediums. You need to make sure there's no bleeding with your stamping.
Yeah.
So you need to use the waterproof dye ink pad. I know we have to repeat it many times, and I know there's lots of you out there that understand that, but we have new people joining us all the time that probably don't understand the difference between the inks. Anything that's water-based, you need the waterproof dye ink pad, which is our finesse range. So I'm just going to ink that up. And we're going to have a little bit of a randomness going off.
Oh, I like a bit of randomness.
I love random. I'm not going to lie. So
Have you
give that
enjoyed
a good
working with
coverage.
these liquid watercolours then? Have you enjoyed working with the set?
Oh, I'm in my element.
Yeah.
I actually watched the show. I had to watch the show back because I couldn't watch the show with, I think it was Sheena and Leanne.
Yeah.
And I couldn't watch the show live but I did go back and watch it because, I mean, I love to watch Sheena in
Oh, yeah,
I really
she's
do.
the Wizard of Art, as we now call her.
What, eh?
The Wizard of Art.
Hey, that's a good name.
Someone came up with that the other day. I can't remember who it was.
Who came up with that?
I can't remember.
That's a cracking name.
Yeah.
Love that. Suits her, doesn't it?
It does suit her, because she is a wizard. And she's good at art.
Honestly, she's absolutely amazing. She really, really is. I just watch her and think, how does she create what she creates? I'm blown away by her magic. Blown away by her magic. So I'm just going to stamp this up again because I need to get a nice bit of a coverage. Now, I know it's already marked on there because obviously I had a bit of excess ink, but I know with my stamping platform it'll be okay. So again, I'm just making sure I've got the right coverage. Missed that end.
Oh,
it's all right. It's me. It's me with my pressure.
Yeah.
And I can always go back, and that looks absolutely fine.
Great demonstration of the stamping platform, though.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. So let's have one. Should we go centre? Yeah, we'll have one about the centre mark. Going to push down again. I'm not going to worry too much about any excess ink because I know that this stamping platform allows me to put that ink straight back over the top of it, so it's absolutely fine. It's pointless cleaning the stamp, to be fair. It's a lot of faff. And I've done it before in the past, and I'm just thinking, why am I doing it when I'm re-inking and going back in?
Right.
It's just a bit silly. So don't worry about it. You might get ink on your hands, but who cares?
That's half the joy, isn't it? Getting a bit mucky.
It's the fun of getting crafty. It really, really is. So again, I'm just going to make sure I covered.
Oh.
Am I being heckled by a van again? I honestly.
I think it was a honk of approval.
Honk of approval. I'll take that.
Yeah.
And then we're going to come in again just round here. Now the beauty of this platform to the other one is there's no extra legs.
Yes, because that would have gotten in the way on the old one,
that would have got in the
it?
way, yes. So it's nice that we've got this choice. Don't get me wrong, I still use mine.
Oh, yeah.
I still use it. My magnetic one, absolutely. There's a place in my craft room for that one. I'm never going to, stop using it just because we've got a new kid on the block.
Never going to give it up, are you?
Never.
Never going to let it down?
Oh, wait a minute. What are you singing? Never going
to turn it around or desert it?
Oh, God, I love Rick. I love Rick Astley.
Did you go and see him recently, or did I dream that?
No, I've spoke to Rick Astley in the past.
Have you?
I have, yes. I spoke to him.
To
be fair...
What, in the supermarket, or do you mean like...
No, it wasn't. This was just... I didn't meet him. He's one of me ones that I want to meet.
Yeah.
But I rang up a radio station that he was on, and I got to speak to him. They let me speak and answer, talk to him over the things, so yeah.
A radio station?
A radio station, yes.
What radio station was that?
Radio well, I don't know if it's still working now.
What is
Radio
it?
Hallam. Sheffield.
Radio Hallam?
Radio Hallam.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Hallam,
Yeah.
I don't know if it is.
I think Hallam's still going, I think it's just been taken over by one of these big companies.
My old breakfast producer at the Breeze Radio in Basingstoke used to work for Hallam.
Did he?
Yeah.
What were he called?
Ridian Jones.
What he?
Ridian Jones.
I recognise that name.
He works for the BBC now. Rid, if you're watching, mate. BBC. I'm still here. Still doing the rounds.
Still plodding on.
The BBC are looking. Rid, mate. Ridian.
Now, I want to add a few leaf designs. So there's a couple of nice leaves on here. So I think what I'll do is, again, we'll just add them a little bit, random type. It doesn't really matter, to be fair. Just have a little play with them. So I'm just going to pop, in fact, you can come down and be a little bit of a loose leaf. We're going to pop that down again. Oh, wrong way around, Debbie.
Oh.
Pop that down. Pick them up. Ink them up. And...
So after this, it's just the painting and then the cutting?
Yes, bit of paint, bit of construction.
I feel like I've asked you this before, but I'll ask it again for the benefit of people who don't watch all the time. Obviously, we see the likes of you and Debbie and Craig colouring a lot, but we don't often see you painting as much. Is it something?
No, I know.
Is it something that you like to do in your free time? Not that you get free time.
Free time.
If you had imagine you had free time, right? Is it something that you would turn to do a lot, or do you still prefer like picking up a pen and colouring more?
I love all types. Yeah.
All of it.
I'm not saying I'm a master at them all, but I love all types.
Yeah.
And it was nice to actually get this because I was thinking, let's create, because I ran me and Minky backgrounds, and let's have a little. And then I thought, do you know what? No. I'm going to go out my comfort zone a little bit, and I'm going to paint with them because I love the I've always loved a water-based ink, but that colour, that pop of colour, and you'll see this when we start using them, and the way that you can mix the colours. And I know they've been configured to work a certain way, but I just absolutely love them. And I love the versatility of them because of that fact, because they are water-based, so much you can do with them. I mean, you know how much I love a shaving foam technique.
Ah, yeah.
And I nearly, very nearly, let me tell you, very nearly went for the shaving foam technique in this craft along.
String pull you love as well, don't you?
Oh, I can never do the string pull. Never ask me to do a string pull because I'm rubbish at it. I know my strengths and my weaknesses. Oh, go on, show off. Let me just have a look. Who's done that, Ben? Who's done that one?
This guy.
Really?
Yeah,
that
me.
is blooming good.
I call it Kingfisher coming back out of the water. String pull.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll give you some tips after the show, Debbie. I'll
Look,
impart my extensive
try as much as you like. Have you seen my? I think there may be one living around on the internet somewhere of my string pull technique.
What happened?
Just a blob. Tried to carry on a blob. I try, I fail. I'm going to say I try and conquer, but I can't conquer.
No.
And I suppose I could take some hints and tips from you, my little lovely, because I think, you know, you're the master.
I am the master of my craft there.
That is absolutely incredible. Do you know what? Step away from the stamps, Debbie.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got a lot to paint there, otherwise.
And
you've only got half an hour.
Oh, Debbie, you silly Billy. I have, haven't I? What am I doing?
Yeah, it's not 2 hours.
What am I doing?
I'd have no idea.
2 hours? Oh, do you know?
What do you like?
You should never let me loose.
No.
You should never let me loose and talk at the same time.
Sorry.
Because I get carried away. This is the thing, I do it all the time in your craft room. I get my head into a soap or head into like some music or whatever.
Put your head in some soap?
I'm gone. Head into a soap. My soaps. You know I like to watch a soap or binge watch series.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, I've got how long have we got? We might not be taking a break today. Put it that way.
You've got about 10 minutes.
How many? You rotter. 10 minutes. My God, I nearly fell for that. I am actually going to clean my hands, though, because I have got black ink everywhere. So I'm just going to quickly clean my hands because I have been known to spoil projects. Ask Max from t'other day, actually. Wait a minute. What day are we on?
We're on Saturday.
Yeah, ask Max from the other day.
Today.
It's because it was this morning, really, to be this morning.
I know you guys know now, but we're pre-recorded, obviously. Just to say, we're not here live. Hence why I'm not reading out any of your comments. Don't think we're being rude. You know, we just can't see them because we're in the past. It's really weird.
Wait a minute, I thought we were in the future.
But yes, thank you for all the comments. Feel free to chat with each other. Our social superstar will help you if you've got any questions. And also don't forget that it's 5 off 30 spend today. So if you get this, use that code 5 off to get £5 off.
Right, I've got my water, got my paintbrushes, and I've got my choice of colours. So out of that set, I've used
Persimmon orange.
Persimmon orange, magenta rose, sunflower yellow, and I still don't understand, but catkin green.
Catkin.
I absolutely love catkin.
Catkin,
Such a cute girl.
It is cute, isn't it?
Did anybody ask them why they named them then?
I don't know. No.
Well, the two that I'm going to use to colour my florals in are persimmon orange,
yeah,
and magenta rose.
Yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to take the water to our design, and then add the ink.
Okay.
So you can go in and paint with them,
right?
But you'd probably lose a bit of control that way. So this way is the easiest way I find. So you're going to go in and you're going to add. I hope I've cleaned my brushes from from the other morning.
This morning.
Yes.
This morning, but not Saturday morning.
No, not
Wednesday
morning. This morning. What my life. Honestly.
It's so confusing.
So
hang on, so is this just a little bit of water you're popping on now?
Just a bit of water, because I want to be able them to mingle between themselves. Because I am using 2 colours. Notice what I'm not getting? Any smearing from.
So if you'd use the alcohol-proof...
no, you use alcohol-proof dye ink for...
That's what I mean. If you had used that...
Oh, it
would be smudging all over the place.
It would have smudged, yeah.
So you'd know straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Now, normally you can use like a do you know a little, do you know our mixing palettes?
Yeah.
Perfect to drop some in. Guess I want first yours. So we're just going to drop some onto the glass mat.
Oh.
In fact, actually, just watch what I'm like, because you know what I am like. the clumsiest person known to man.
I hate the colour of your cardigan as well now, and
No,
you're
I
messing
know, and
about with these.
that's me panicking a little bit. So let's just go in and have a little colour. But just drop that down. You can see, literally, just spread. I mean, do you know what I love about this is the colour.
The colour is immense.
The colour is amazing. It's honestly stunning.
Question. I think
Yes.
I've got a question. So you've wet the cardstock, and then now you're applying the colour.
Yes.
What did you say would be the harder way to do it to control it?
You can go in directly and paint and drag it out. You can do that.
Oh, I see.
But I like this method of just dropping, especially when we're coming in, because I am still taking my brush to go up to them up to the edges. Do you know though, to be fair, don't worry too much if you go over.
Right.
It's not going to really make a difference because you want a little bit of an arty look to this.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not going to worry too much, but I have gone with a very, very thin paintbrush.
And this is all on watercolour card, of course.
Watercolor cardstock.
Could you get away with our standard cardstock if you didn't have any, or not really? No. Best
Do you
not
want
to.
my honest opinion?
Yes, please, always.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
You'll get a better look, a better finish when you use an. Oh, look at that colour. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take a little bit of that orange onto the end as well. And like I said, if you go over a little bit,
Yeah.
please don't worry. Just remind me though, time-wise, because you know I get a little bit carried away, and literally. And let's just shove that around because I want to speed that process up because we've got a lot to get through.
Yeah.
But I love the mix of the two colours. Very vibrant, aren't they?
They are very vibrant.
Now, you personally could choose any of the colours. I've just chosen these because I like a little bit of brightness in my life. You know what I'm like. I love bright colours. So I'm just going to give that a little blast just to dry that off because we are going to move around. I have got a white cardigan on, so I am just telling you right now.
Someone get her an
I'm
apron.
between my stages because the last thing I want to do.
If you did get this on your cardi though, it would wash out, right?
Water-based, yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
so you're
yeah.
all
So
right.
if you've got kids that you want to paint with, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
You'll be fine. Right, so that's that one done.
Not that I think that Debbie's going to get messy over the course of the next 20 minutes.
I bet you any money I do.
Hey?
I bet you any money I do. And again, don't worry too much about this because obviously I've got the same water that I'm using.
And did you say, so you're using quite a thin brush here?
I'm using a thin brush just because of the...
Thinner the better, is it?
I think do you know what? I think it's a personal preference, that
Okay.
one, Ben.
Yeah.
But I have got a little bit of a detailed line to come up to. So thinner probably is better.
Yeah.
Let's start with orange on the outside.
Got these brushes as well. They'll be on the website. So you've got the choice of the Royal and Langnickel ones or the
Yeah, we've got our
Crafter's
we do a
Own.
5-pack of ours.
I think
yeah.
they're as good as each other, aren't they? Really.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely.
I think the Royal and Langnickel. Perhaps we only have 3 sizes there, and I think there's 5 sizes in the.
There's 5 in ours. Now, with the
Crafters.
Royal and Langnickel, there are a few others, but it's what we stock.
Right. Yes.
So and I think we only stock, off the top of my head, trying to remember, but I think we only stock 3 at the minute.
We do. 100%. There's the bigger one, isn't there? There's the and then the 2
yeah.
finer brushes.
So I've had my brushes for quite a few years because when I worked in store, we stocked the whole lot. So I bought
Right.
I treated myself to some, and I tell you now, good brushes.
What, ours or the Royal and Langnickel?
Both. The quality of our brushes is insane,
Yeah.
and I love ours because we've got 5 different sizes in there as well.
Yeah.
It's just that I keep carrying them in my bag, and for some reason, things disappear. I actually think I've lost things along the way because I stupidly cram my bag with an inch of its life, so there's no space.
Seen your bag.
Yeah, and I think that's the problem.
Every time we have like a storage show or I get that tote, I always mention you.
Do you mention it? Because I am notoriously known in our world for having far too much
Well,
in my bags.
you're a great example of how strong our totes are, because I say that you literally carry your craft room in a tote bag, so...
Practically.
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
And between the both of them, because I've my little desk on what I've got beside of me right now, ridiculous, it's crammed. I've got to sort it out. During my Christmas break, I'm sorting out craft room
In your
and
Christmas
craft
break?
bags. Well, I've got that, do you know that Christmas New Year break?
Yeah.
I think I might do it. Just a day, just a few hours. I'm not going to be in there all the time.
Make sure
Although
you
I've got a bit of work to do.
Make sure you take a little Christmas tipple in there as well. I'd be sad if I thought that you were kind of in there on your own
well,
working away
I was
over
on the phone to my
Christmas.
daughter last night, and
Yeah.
she's decided she's not going away.
Ah.
So she's coming up.
Ah.
I'm so excited. And I'm doing, well actually, because my youngest daughter, obviously she's got a partner and I've hogged her every Christmas. So Grammy is so that's George's mum. He has them first. So they go down to his first and they have like a sandwich dinner. And then I cook and we have a late dinner.
Yeah.
So this year he said he wanted to have Christmas dinner with his mum. And do you know what? For 6 years, I've been greedy and I've had them for dinner. So it's only fair.
Yeah, fair's
It's only
fair.
fair that we do a swap with Grammy. So she's going to have them and I'm going to do the sandwich tea. So I said to my daughter, what shall we have for his dinner? Now my sister has offered, but there's a lot of people in the house.
Ah, okay.
It's a little bit frantic, shall we say?
Yeah.
And when I say a lot, there's a lot. So she's got 2 crazy dogs, 2 crazy grandkids, herself, her 2 daughters, both partners. It's nuts. And a very small house at that. So, and my mum. Forgot my mum were going. So I've said I'll go around and see them to obviously distribute presents. But I think I'm going to cook. Because she did offer. She said, I'll cook for you, don't worry about it. Because my youngest daughter were like, I don't want you to go without your Sunday dinner. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'll tell you right now, Ben, I couldn't give a monkey's uncle if I have it or not.
Really?
I'm not a big Sunday roast kind of dinner girl, and I know that might sound strange to some. Really doesn't bother me. So me and my daughter were looking at all the takeaways that were open.
Are the takeaways open?
Our local Indian is just divine, and they are doing Christmas dinner, but they're also doing takeout.
On Christmas Day?
On Christmas Day. Don't judge. Please don't
No,
judge.
not judging. I just find that amazing that they'd be open.
Yeah, so because if we'd have had time to think about it, because she said she was going travelling, we didn't really have the time, so we've missed out on actually booking a table because they're fully booked, as they do every year. But, we're going to have a takeout. My son were like, I'm not having that. He wants his Sunday dinner, so he's having his from courtesy of Auntie Dawn. She's going to be looking after him.
You've got to do you at Christmas time, haven't you?
What?
Got to do you. Do what makes you happy.
Indeed.
If you want a Christmas dinner, do it. If you want to get a takeout, do it. If you want to go for an Indian, do it.
Absolutely. Now, I'm just showing you, because if you've noticed, I haven't wet this time. So I'm having to move that around myself. Now, I personally prefer the wet method and then drop the ink into it. And wherever you've taken it up to now, I know I've noticed I've gone out on the other side of my rose, but it doesn't matter. How are we doing for time, by the way?
5 minutes left.
How many?
About 20. You got loads of time, haven't you?
Yeah, we should be okay.
Yeah.
I'm nearly done all the main flowers. So what's your plans then for Christmas Day, Mr. Moseby?
Christmas Day we'll all be together, just the 4 of us.
Yeah.
Well,
Have you got any family coming up?
Well, here's the thing. So no, I'll be doing a park run on Christmas morning.
Are you really?
Because for those of you, I don't know if you've got any park runners who watch, but there's obviously every Saturday, but they always do a Christmas Day. Well, some of them do, but my local one does a Christmas Day run and a New Year's Day run. And last year I did the New Year's Day, and I've always wanted to do the Christmas Day because I think it'd be really fun. You have the people who, you know, they have like the sea swims and things like that on Boxing Day, these events that people go out for. And I thought, do you know what? That might be a really fun thing to do, just sort of get out of the house for half an hour, meet with some other people, wish a few people Merry Christmas, you know, thank the volunteers that do it. So I plan on doing that. Daisy said she might come with me, although I don't know whether she will Christmas morning. And then when I come back, we'll do all the presents, have the Christmas lunch and just sort of generally slob out on Christmas Day. And then Boxing Day, we're then going down to Devon. Because Laura's family live in East Devon, and her youngest sister Sophie is doing the catering this year. I mean, again, Lord help her. I mean, I can't. I mean, how many people is she going to be catering for? There must be, out of all the family with all the kids, there must be 20, and then all of the dogs that come with all of the families as well. And she hasn't got the biggest house in the world, so it's going to be rammed. Boxing Day, but that would be quite nice.
That'd be nice. You need to host a quiz on that day.
Oh, maybe that's what I should do. Yeah.
Yeah, host a quiz. I'm sure they'll love that. Get all family together, or do charades or charades.
Maybe I could take my Christmas quiz that I'm doing I was going to say tomorrow, that I'll have done on Thursday.
No, we've done it.
Yeah, I'm doing it on my Facebook page.
I wonder who was victorious.
Well, do you know what as well? I've also heard, whilst we've been doing the show, there is a prize for that quiz.
Is there?
That's what I've heard. It's a really good prize as well.
You're kidding.
No, I don't know if I should say this or not. Maybe I'll tell you afterwards.
Tell me after.
There is a prize, but for the quiz that I have done, which was a success apparently, I'm doing it on my Facebook page on Wednesday for all of you. If you want to join in, details on my Facebook page. And then, so going back to the Christmas, this is a long answer, isn't it? The 27th, we then go down to my mum and dad's in Brixham, South Devon, do our third Christmas day there. And then I think
wow, what a great Christmas that sounds like.
Probably come back on the 28th, 29th. It is lovely, but and this sounds very selfish, but we go down every year. I wish one year they'd all come up to us.
They'd come to you, yeah.
Especially my mum and dad as well.
Yeah.
Would
you have space to put them all up? That's a no.
Well, maybe one of them.
Just one?
Yeah, and then maybe because. Probably stick my mum in the hotel down the road.
Well, it's a lovely hotel.
It is. Mum and my sister would probably go in there. Dad would have the spare room because he's not bothered. Well, yeah, because you used to stay there a lot, didn't you?
All the time, yeah. We're practically residents. We knew them all. We knew them all by first name terms. I wonder if some of them still work there now. Love that hotel. Very fond memories.
Yeah, but it's lovely there at Christmas.
They always used to put me at spa rooms.
Did they?
Yeah, no extra charge. Bless them.
Because they knew it was Debbie Robinson off the TV. Here she is, lads. Get the spa room ready. VIP treatment for the Barnsley bombshell.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Glass of champers on arrival, I bet, wouldn't it? Hey? Chocolate on the pillow.
Oh, bless them. I do miss the guys up there. They were lovely.
Yeah,
really
a lovely hotel.
Yeah, beautiful hotel.
But yeah, that's that. And then back here for New Year. Don't really do much New Year.
No, I celebrated it with my daughter last year in Bristol. I went to Bristol for mine. Loved every minute. I have dropped an hint at her this year.
You dropped a hint?
I have dropped a massive hint. But I think she were about wanting to... Because we're on about going to like a little log cabin during the Christmas New Year break.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to do it over Christmas, and I'm like, I don't think I can go without seeing my grandbabies. Anybody who knows me knows that those grandbabies are my world. And there was no way, as much as I love my daughters, and my eldest daughter, I just said, I can't bring myself to be away from them at Christmas.
No. Especially at the age they're at now.
Exactly, they're not going to be young forever.
It's the magical years, isn't it?
Exactly.
It's the magical years when Father Christmas comes to visit. And
any kids watching, right? He is real.
Yeah.
Yes, he is real.
It's the years when Father Christmas comes to visit, because obviously as they get older, he gets too busy for the older kids.
Yeah, that's true.
I loved all those years with our kids, sharing the magic with them. It's brilliant, isn't it?
I did, and you miss it, Ben, when you get older. You do miss it.
Yeah.
Now, again, don't worry about this, because I have literally, this is meant to be clear water, but my motor's rather mucky now. So I'm just doing it to drop in. And it adds a little bit of shade as well to your project. And then I'm going to leave those little white bits because I quite like that.
Any kind of tips? I know we've been chatting, but tips on like sort of where you're applying when you're mixing those two colours. How do you decide where you're going to put which colour on the rose?
Drop it and let these flow to where they need to be.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way. And with watercolour as well, it's very difficult to control. But that's why I do like that shade and dimension you're getting. Guess what I didn't do? I didn't dry off these. I can see them now, and I've just thought, oh my God, my elbow nearly went in that then.
Nearly a mistake on the old cardigan. And what I was going to say was, as long as you pick two colours which will work together from the outset, it shouldn't then really matter, should it?
No.
You know.
It's all about having a little bit of fun as well. And I know you'll have seen Sheena work her magic with these and lots of different techniques that she'll have done. But sometimes it's nice to just go back to a little bit of basic colouring.
Yeah. Just enjoy the process.
Absolutely.
And as Sheena would say, just have a play.
That's exactly what you do.
You're only going to get more confident and better at something like this the more you do it, isn't it?
Exactly. So I'm just going to dry all of those off because, again, I'm just checking my cardigan, making sure I've not gone. Whew, I don't know how I've managed it. Mind you, when we do the flicking, I'm not so sure I'm going to get away with it because we are going to do a little bit of flicking as well. Now, I can see there's little areas where I've come out. I'm not worrying too much because we're going to add some water to it. These are water-based and we're going to lift a little bit of the colour. We're going to add some more colour into there as well. And then we'll do the chopping up and the construction part of it. So for this stage now, I just want you to dry off because you'll get a better effect if it's dry than trying to do wet on wet. So dry it off, which sounds bizarre because you're going to wet it again in a minute, but it doesn't matter. I just prefer to get I think you can, what's the word, lift better once it's dry.
And once again, because obviously you're going to bring some water into the flicking technique, if you did decide once you dried it that you weren't quite happy or you wanted to add more colour, you'd just go back in again with your water, wouldn't you, just to reactivate
if you're not happy. So can you see it's a bit watery down there? I wasn't happy considering where it is here. It's quite dark and vibrant, but I like that. I like that mix. I'm not worrying too much. Now, I do need a bit of clean water for this. Let's just bring in this one because let me just take that to bits. There we go. Now, I am going to drop as well a little bit of yellow down onto this. So let me just grab a bit of yellow. Again, if you've got one of those paint palettes, it's super easy. Super easy. But I think I might do the water first. I did it the other way around at home, but I think what I'll do is, let me grab, I need just a bit thicker, yeah.
Do you want me to get some clean water? Are you all right?
No, it's all right, because I'm going to do this. So I've gone into the bottle. Just remind me to fill this bottle back up.
You've gone to the bottle, did you say?
I've gone to the bottle.
It's not Christmas yet, Debbie, for goodness sake. Oh, that bottle. Sorry, I see what you mean.
The bottle of water, not the bottle of anything else stronger. But yeah, and I'm just giving a little flick over the top. Now, I'm going to do the water bit first, and then I'm going to drop the yellow into it over the top of that. But yeah, you can start to see it, and you'll start to see it lifting as well. And I like to do this in stages because sometimes you don't get that desired look the first time. We'll see what this does. And like you've said as well, Ben, if it takes too much off, which you can see it's stripped quite a nice bit, but lift that back and you'll see, and I'm quite, that looks just lovely. Honestly, I never tire of it. But you could always go in and add more if you want to add a bit more. If you're not happy and you want a little bit more off there. But I'm just going to come in with my thin brush again, and then we're just going to, now we'll stand back a bit here because flick. And I've just gone with the yellow because, again, vibrant colours, beautiful colours.
Yeah.
No right or wrong way. If you want to splash the same colours over the top, like the pink and the orange and the greens, go for it. If you've gone for different colours, but I just think sometimes it's nice to have a little play and get a little bit messy and create a little bit of a different kind of vibe to what we would normally do. And you could always go in, you know, if you want to add a bit more, so you add a little bit of, should we go with a little bit of yellow into there? Because we are going to dry it again in a minute. Yeah. So if you've seen some areas where you think, oh, you're missing something, you could go in with the colour as well. Look at the colour over the top. Adds another dimension of orange over that top. Just looks lovely. Really, really nice. So again, I'm quite happy with that. I'm just going to put that to one side though, because I have got, do you remember when I said we've got a background sheet? Yeah. So you will have another piece of 8x8 cardstock. So bring that in. And I'm just going to drop a little bit more of the yellow down because I'm nearly out of that. I tell you, these liquid inks go a long way. I was just about to say that because they're small bottles, but the colour is so vibrant. You only need a small, like a pea-sized amount, isn't it? Absolutely. And if you want to add, because I've just gone with the yellow background, but you know, if you want to add some of the other colours in there, then absolutely do. But this is just a little, or if you want to, bit of foam. Get your foam. What? Bit of foam and do your marbling and have a marble background. Yeah. That'd look nice. Yeah, yeah. So again, I'm just giving that a little splish splash around. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Just going a little bit more. Look how much this goes. Literally, it's the keeps on going and keeps on going. Easily. And you think, surely surely it'll be fit. No, still keeps on going. Oh, get a bit of green in there. Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like I've not seen that marbling technique for ages now, the shaving foam. I think Sheena did it, you know. What, on the launch? I think she did it on the launch, if I remember rightly. If I remember rightly. Now, of course, we're going to dry that because we can't put it down with glues and things like that while it's wet. You do need to let that dry. You can let it dry naturally, or you can force the drying stage with your heat tool. That's why I put that on the menu, because I just thought we've only got an hour, and we need to. We could let it dry naturally, but I think we'd go over the hour, and we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. So literally just dry off that colour. And then what we'll do is we'll construct our cards. So, because of course, our main bit, what we're going to come to in a second, we need to snip into. So I think we're okay for time here, Ben. I think the only thing I haven't done is I haven't done a sentiment, but we'll do that. We'll see what we get finished.
You can always, I think the sentiment's easy, isn't it? We want to see like the construction of it.
Yeah, the sentiment bit's the easy part. It's literally just getting this bit together, the main construction part of the card. And I'm loving that. It's got quite an arty feel to it. I quite like that. It's a little bit, it's not pristine or anything like that, because it's got that little arty feel. Now,
organic.
I wouldn't normally do this, but I'm thinking of the time, thinking of the speed. I need to clear that up quickly. So I'm just going to drop my paintbrushes in there. I'm going to move that paint over there before I pick it up and drink out of it, because we all know I like to drink ink.
Have you done that before?
Water.
Have you done that before, have you?
I might have done that once or twice before. But yes, I'm just going to clean that up, because again, if you don't clean this part up, when you come to put your card base down, you will end up with transfer of ink over the top, and we don't want that. So make sure you do a little bit of housekeeping. Get rid of that one. And then again, now this is 7.5-inch blank, patterned now. And half of 7.5 and half of 7.5 is
3 3/4.
Well, look at you. Look at you, Mr. Moseby.
Am I right?
You are.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, if you've got a pencil mark, it's absolutely fine to do, but I'm just going to, so I can either do it at the top or the bottom, because it doesn't really matter which way you look at this when you're chopping in. So I'm going to do it from the bottom part. So I'm going to make sure I'm up to the edge, and we're going to give it a little bit of a mark at the 3 3/4 mark. 3 mark at 3 3/4 mark. Repeating myself there, Debbie. And then we're going to bring back in our guillotine. And we're going to do exactly the same process. So our mark's down at the bottom. We're going to cut the same way that we've been doing. So we're going to take that to the edge. We're going to line that up. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. Line it up to the edge. Make sure top and bottom are both lined up. If they're not, your little measurements will go completely wrong. And then lastly, all we're going to do now is construct, and we're going to use our glues. So I'm going to move that up there for a second. Bring back in these panels. Push, push, there we go. So we need to stick all these panels down. So grab your all-purpose glue at this stage, and all-purpose will be the best one to use, because especially for wiggle time to get things into place. So we're going to come in and we're going to, I think we need some more glue in this one. There we go. Now again, you can extract the centre if you want a little bit of longevity, but I want a bit of strength at the back of my card, because I've got quite top heavy front with it crisscrossing over. So I don't want it to be too top heavy. I want it to be balanced. So put the solid panel in. It makes a difference for the rigidity of your card.
Tell you what as well, if you want some great advice when it comes to glues over the holiday period, make sure you check out our shows. We've done a brilliant Crafty Stash show on all things adhesive with Craigie Biggie. We cover all-purpose, tacky, tape pens, red liner tape, chunky glue, foam pads, sprays, you name it, we covered it. It's a good show, that.
It's nice to refresh those things.
It is, isn't it?
Because,
you do forget, don't you, over time,
we do,
I think.
and sometimes we have to remind ourselves, and not only that, we have new people joining us all the time.
Exactly right.
Maybe thinking the same things that I used to think. You don't need all those glues. They don't. They do all the same job. One glue does all the same job. No, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
So it's nice to be refreshed of why that's not the case.
I always think like there's crossovers, but I think like each glue or each adhesive has its own like superpower.
Yeah.
And you'll see in that show, Craig chatting about what the superpowers are and why you need so many of these different adhesives in your life.
Absolutely. So all we're doing now is doing the maps and the layers. And like I said, having a wet glue gives you the ability to slip slide it into place, to get it in the right position, which you wouldn't be able to get with a dry glue, because a dry glue will stick instantly, like instant tack. We're going to come, oh wait a minute. These panels need sticking down, Debbie. Close. close. I think we might just get this done. We might not get the sentiment on.
No.
But I think we might get the card base put together.
I never doubted you for a second, because again, you always say you're never going to do it, but you always get there just about.
Well, you see, the perfectionist in me thinks I haven't completed it because I haven't done my sentiment. So that's the little bit of me that goes, you didn't quite make it, Debbie, but we'll let you off. Well, I'm letting myself off anyway. Notice the deafening silence in the gallery. Quiet as mice. Are you doing TikTok for me?
Yeah.
So now we've got the two panels. We're going to decorate all of our panels, so we're going to get them into place. If you need, or you find that your measurements are just slightly off, just snip a little bit off at the end and do it at the bottom end, not at the pointy bit, because you'll go all wrong if you do it that way. That's if you've just not, if it's just being a little bit fraction out on your guillotine. But hopefully you took some top tips from me with the guillotine part of making sure.
Yeah.
And that's the kind of look that I was wanting to achieve with mine. Just a tiny frame, not a massive frame, a tiny frame. Because I think sometimes that looks really, really
Craig
nice.
will be a big fan of that. He's like the big advocate for thin mats.
I think that's why we do both me and Craig do 1/4 inches. I sometimes push myself out of my comfort zone and go to 1/2 inch. And I think, ooh, but it works. It does work. So either way, there's no right or wrong way. It's what you personally prefer.
The look that you're going for.
Yeah,
that's it.
exactly.
Don't forget as well, if you have joined late or if you haven't got the liquid watercolours, details on your screen there, that Showstopper gives you both of the sets. So all of the colours. You've got 12 of the pots in total, 12 colours, but actually you've got so much more than that when you think about being able to mix up those colours and create your own palettes. And then you've also got your accessories kit in that, which includes 2 of your pipettes. You've also got your water spritzer in there as well, so great for doing those sort of watercolour techniques. And then you've got 2 empty pots as well with lids. So if you do start, I don't know, being a bit of a mixologist and creating your own colours, you can pop those into those pots provided. And you do make a saving, of course, if you buy the Showstopper rather than buying all of those bits individually.
Right, the next thing we're going to do now is we've got our card base, our insert. We're going to pop our crisscrossers on. Now, there's lots of different ways that you can do it. Depends on how spread eagle you want them to go. I personally prefer to get into the 8x8 envelope, so I bring it into this corner and this corner and put that down. So I'm just going to put a bit of tape just onto, and I would recommend not going all the way down. Go to about the halfway mark. Just make sure you've got a nice bit down there, and you're going to line up before you push down. You're going to make sure that those 2 bits are at the bottom and at the side, and that way you can't go wrong. And then the same with the other side. We're not going to go all the way down to the bottom. We're just going to take it to the halfway mark, and we're going to repeat that on the other side as well. So we're going to go to the bottom, go to the side. When you're happy with where that is, then you're going to drop that down. Okay? How is that for time, guys?
Just over a minute.
Yeah. So I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll show you the card base, okay? So that's your card base. It stands perfectly. It's got extra weight as well, so that back doesn't go like, and even on a glass mat normally, but you've got quite a nice bit of strength to that as well. So I'm going to put it there. Sorry, Sam. Just so that you can see that strength it's got. The only thing that you need to add to that then, and I'll just quickly explain that because we've just run out of time to be able to do that sentiment, but literally all you're going to do is choose a sentiment. I've gone with Happy Birthday, one of our most loved sentiments.
Yeah.
I've gone with an Happy Birthday, and I've just done it where I've stamped it, splashed it with that yellow ink, and then cut that down. It could be you could have a square end. I've just gone with a little tail end because I quite like that. And then I actually stamped into the centre as well once that was dry. So I've shown you how to construct. It's down to you, and how to do a little bit of paint there as well. It's down to you to decide on what sentiment you're going to put on there.
Absolutely brilliant. I love that. If you have joined us at the end of the show, do make sure to save this, come back, watch it another time. And if you are recreating these cards, make sure you tag us. Tag Debbie, tag me on the socials. And if you want, you can send the pictures into the studio as well, because we would love to see your makes. Massive thank you to Debbie. What a brilliant craft along. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. Until next time, bye for now.